Alright, and on to section 2, getting started with the basics. So, in this section, we're going to go through all the things you need to know to get started. It's going to go through syntax, it's going to go through how do you actually code and where to put it. Then it's going to go through all the data types. I know you might not know what that means now, but I'll be sure to tell you all about it. Then all about operators, strings, and lists, just to finish it off. So, right now we're going to go through command line versus text editor. So as I mentioned earlier, we go to Sublime Text 3. That is the program that I use most often. And we're going to take a quick look. You could download this on your own. The link is in the previous section. And then we're also going to look at Cygwin. So these two tools are what you need if you don't want to use the idle screen. So again, just to reiterate, this is the Python idle screen. You can go one by one and type in lines here, versus you have to do two things here. You have a text editor, in my case Sublime Text 3, and you have Cygwin, which is a terminal. So again, pretty easy, pretty self-explanatory. You can download here Windows 64 if you have Windows, and get started. It's a quick download, it doesn't take much time. And Cygwin similarly as well. It's a little longer because you have to pick a location to download it from, but just the same, it will download very quickly there. So why am I telling you this? If you have the Python idle already installed, why do you need a text editor? So as we saw here, you can do 1 plus 1 and it goes line by line. If you want to do it again, you either have to click up, which works in the terminal, or you have to type it in once more, the same thing. So this is fine if you're just doing a simple calculation like this, but if you want to write more code, then it gets extremely long and tedious. So you'll have to do it over and over again every single time. Now, what a text editor does is keep all of your text here over and over again. So you can do 1 plus 1, 1 plus 1, over and over again, right? And then what you do is you can run it here. So if we quit out of this, so if you're in the terminal and you do Python -i, you can get out of the terminal by doing quit with the parentheses. And what we do here is you can actually run the Python program. So the more and more lines you go, the more impossible it becomes to write each line over and over again. There's no way to save here, and there is in the text editor. So everything we're going to do later on, when the programs become bigger, we're going to want to put in a text editor. So I'll show you how to do that in 1 second, but I just want to mention that in the idle screen, we'll be doing all of our testing. So if you want to follow along with our programming that I do here, you can just quickly type in everything line by line here, just to get the hang of it and get to know how to program. So there's other text editors such as Notepad++. You can also even use Word or Notepad built into Windows, but I do not recommend that because there's no formatting. So as I'll show you in 1 second, there's actually a ton of formatting built into things like Sublime Text, where it automatically formats things in Python. So right now we have a simple print statement. I'll talk more about this, but I'll use it as an example. So process here, save as, we wanted to save this as test.py, and the extension .py is what gives it the Python extension, so you'll be able to run that. If you save, you'll immediately see that the hello world and the print will change colors. See that? So this print is in blue and this string here is in yellow. So text editors will automatically distribute and look at the different words and get them to different colors. So this makes it so much easier to see everything. You get to find out exactly what you want to do. Every keyword's a different color, and automatically look at this tab, and then we can do it again. So text editors are great. They make everything much easier. And then now I'll show you how to run the program. So when you first download Cygwin, you'll see this screen. So those of you who do not know Linux, I definitely recommend reading up on it. So I'll use a few commands and I'll explain them, but This won't be a full tutorial. So ls will show you what you have in your file structure or folder. And if we do cd, you change your directory. So we want to go into the C drive. Here, you can see all the stuff that's in it. And we want to cd into users. Then again, cd into whatever your username is. And then you see everything that you have in your user folder. So we again want to go to Documents. And here is the directory that test.py is in. So in order to run this program, we have to do Python. Then we type in the name of the file. And then after you click enter, it'll automatically run. So we see here printed onto the screen, hello world. So keep this in mind as we move forward. Whatever you need to do, you can just run there. But for the meantime, you could also just type it in one line at a time. Since it's just one line, it makes just as much sense to put it into this Python idle shell. So just so you know, you can use the idle shell for now, but later on we'll need to go into some more intense code, so you'll want to use the command line